I watch guys like Luka Doncic, Joel Embiid, Cam Thomas, like really good isolation players in the NBA, and I love their game. I love the creativity of the players. Being able to do all these amazing things on the court, making the game exciting. My first real love of watching ISO basketball came from Allen Iverson. Street ball moves. The moves he did, the game he had was something special to watch. Watching someone of that size be able to move and get past anybody was just unreal. James Harden in Houston was another player who really made me love the art of ISO basketball. Many basketball fans love just watching a whole bunch of dribbling and step backs in one-on-one situations. I'm guilty of loving it. But this is the type of basketball that's just all about inflated stats, especially for guys like Luka and Joel. Not saying they aren't great players, they're easily top 5 players in the league, clearly, but they will never win a championship with that brand of basketball. Let's talk about it. Looking at the last 20 years of NBA champions, not a single one of them had a heavy isolation player that just carried their team to the championship. Well, you can say 2016 LeBron James and Kyrie was an isolation team, but majority of the championships before that, even recently, were through teamwork and effort, using the whole team, not just one guy making it happen. I feel like many people like to point out one guy on the team who carried or made things happen, but none of those guys were alone. None of those guys were coming down, dribbling 30 times, shooting a fadeaway step back. I mean, they had a tremendous role of scoring, being the man, but not the ISO players we have today. The uses for these ISO players are ridiculous. These type of players need the ball in their hands 24/7, and that is not winning basketball. Yes, it looks good on camera, and yes, it gives you great stats, but moving without the ball is so unheard of nowadays, and it's sad to see. For instance, not specifically pointing out one guy, but you can see why Damian Lillard is struggling now. The transition of being the main ball handler and shot creator in the starter team and now splitting shots with Giannis is hard for him to do. He's had so many bad shooting nights, knowing with the simple fact that he's not the man anymore. Like, yes, he's a great player for the Bucks, but he's not the only guy on that team that can make something happen. And in all honesty, he needs to do something different. Even talking about Luka Doncic, he's not having a bad season at all. He's averaging 33, 8, and 9, with his team sitting 7th in the Western Conference. But right now, as a player, yes, those stats look amazing. They look great, but they're just padded stats. Come playoff time, when it's time to win games, they're going to look at Luka and, well, he's going to be either burnt out or he can't finish the job because he's not getting his other teammates involved as well. Same with Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid's having a monster season, another MVP season. But the same thing, ISO is not the way to go. Yes, he's dominant. Yes, he's a horse. He's a dog. But at the end of the day, man, he has to change his game sometime in his career. Maybe not now because it's working for the team, but to win championships, he's going to have to change his style of basketball. But in hindsight, ISO players or ISO style of basketball is not effective. I love those type of players, though. Don't get me wrong. But if they don't change their game in the future, they will never win a championship in the NBA. You might can say, oh, this guy has bad teammates, or one player is the only good option for that team, but ISO basketball in general, in hindsight, we're saying just in hindsight, will never win championships. Never. But you let me know in the comments what you think, man. Do you think ISO basketball is a new wave of basketball? Do you think this will start becoming a winning tradition of basketball? Because over the years, man, I have not seen it. You let me know in the comments what you think, man. Subscribe, like, comment. Thanks for listening this time, Nation.